and I was just sitting on the beach and watching the sunset, and this girl and two of her friends were next to me, and I kind of looked over, and the girl was looking at me, and she was smiling, and I didn't have my glasses on, so I couldn't tell she was cute, but I knew that she was smiling, so I smiled back. Went in the water, came back out, and when I got out of the water, they were all standing there, and the guy was like, hey, like, where are you from? And I was like, Seattle. And he was like, hey, come over here. It became clear that this guy had called me over because the girl wanted to chat with me. And I was fired up on it because I got up close to her and she was cute, so we exchanged information. And I looked her up, and she was 35, which is, you know, great. I'm 26, so like, it's like, yeah, right. But in the past, like, I've always had issues with women, like, as soon as they find out my age, they're like, because it's a thing, you know, like, it's even, like, I went on a date with a girl who was 28, and she found out I was 26, she was like, I can't do this. Do what? What happened to you in the past 2 years? I was like, fuck it, don't worry about it, maybe she's cool. She seemed like she had like very good energy and like I might not trip about that stuff. So I invited her out last Thursday, and she was like, look, I just got here and I was hoping to explore like this area, so do you mind like coming to me? And I was like, no, not at all, like no problem. She was like, okay, well, here are 2 restaurants that we could go to, you pick. And I just randomly picked one. So I went to pick her up, and we get to the restaurant, looked at the menu, and right away, it's like $30 for every item, minimum, you know? And we like, were chatting, and things could not be going better. You know, we're like very much on the same page, we're both having a good time. And early on, it came up that I was 26. And I was like, you know, how do you feel about this? And she was like, it's cool. Like, it was like I thought. She was like, I go based off how somebody feels, how they make me feel. Early on in the date, maybe before we established my age, she was like very liberally looking at the menu. Like, just taking it all in and being like, well, we can get this, or we can get this. I'm really hungry. Like, we should get like a couple of, you know, and I'm like I'm like, fuck yeah, like, sure. Like, panicking in my head, but like, just going along with it, you know, because she's hot. And so I drink, but like not when it's $20 a drink, you know? So she ordered a drink, and I was like, all right, I'll order a drink. And then she like housed the first drink. And I was like, oh, $20? And she ordered another one, and then the waiter came, and she just ordered stuff. She just ordered the pate. Fucking, I didn't even know what it was. She's like, we'll have that. I'm like, you're... So as she's ordering, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, we're totally splitting this. Like, you know, she knows I'm 26 now. There's no version of this not being split at bare minimum. Right? So, we ordered the food, it was great. The pate is really good. I had no idea, it's delicious. And we ordered, she ordered fish and chips, salmon, fucking 2 other items that I also didn't know, but we had 5 items and 5 drinks. She had 3, I had 2. So the bill came, and I was talking to her, so I'm like looking at her, and the waiter comes and puts the bill down here in like a little cup, and I like know the bill is there, and I've been doing the math throughout the dinner. I'm like, this is gonna be a lot, and it's fine, don't panic, it's fine. But I was looking at her, and the bill came, and then I was like, you know, stopped talking eventually, and then very slowly got my credit card out of my wallet, you know, making some eye contact while it's going on. And I take my credit card, and she's not moving. And I drop it into the cup, makes a little ting, like, bing! You know, neither of us are talking, so we both heard the card drop into the glass. And she didn't say anything. And the waiter came by, and he had the electronic thing, you know, and he put it in. I didn't even look at the check. But then I got the electronic thing, and it was like, all right, 22%, 25%, 30%, which is also insane. The suggested tip amounts on the electronic scanners now are ridiculous. So I customed it to 20. But it was $303. Dude, I went to Trader Joe's yesterday and spent $175 for a month of groceries. So I paid it, and then she was like, "Oh, thank you so much." And I was like, "You're welcome." And what really bothered me was that there was no attempt to split it. It was like, and then after I paid and she said thank you, I started panicking a little bit, because I was like, I'm getting played. Something's going on here. It's like, this is not. She ordered this shit knowing she wasn't gonna pay, which makes it so much worse. I think honestly, in the moment, if she had offered to split it, I still would have been like, no, it's okay. It's just the thought, you know? But because there was no thought, that's what made alarm bells go off in my head. That like, this is like a backwards sugar baby situation, of which I'm not qualified for to pay. It's like a large portion of my rent. So, anyway, we got up, left. I went to the bathroom before we left, and then I walked out, and we walked out together, and I put my arm around her, and we were like walking to my car, and she was like, "Hey, just so you know, I want to be very transparent here." And she was like, "I just want you to know that, like, I had an abortion recently." And I was like, word. She was like, yeah, it was 3 months along. So it's like it was a significant one. I was like, still word? What do I say to this? How much was it? And I didn't say that, but I was like going along with it, and I was like, oh, you know, that must have been hard, like, you know, no problem. She was like, yeah, the reason I'm telling you this is because it's gonna take me a long time to get comfortable enough to have sex. I was like, no problem, it's fine. You know, it's not the time to talk about the fucking bill. So we got in the car, I dropped her back off at her place, and before she got out of the car, we were chatting, and I felt like I didn't know what to do, because I felt like everything was off limits, so I gave her a hug. The $303 hug. She was like, hey, I would really love to see you again, and I was like, sure, yeah. I bet you would. Because when you say it's going to take a while, you know, in my head, I'm like 5 dates probably minimum, right? That's $1,500. So I was cool about it. She left, and then I drove home, and I was just freaking out in the car. I felt like I got swindled, bamboozled by this borderline MILF. I mean borderline in terms of age, not the abortion. So this was last Thursday. And I was just, fuming mad all night when I got home, and then the next day I didn't say anything to her. She didn't say anything the next day either until 7 p.m. Literally in my head, I was like, I gotta call her and talk, because I'm not gonna be able to move past this. It's too frustrating to me that she didn't offer to pay or split it. And right when I was like mustering up the courage to call her, she sent me a message on WhatsApp like, hey, thanks so much for dinner and the amazing conversation last night. And I was like, fuck. How am I supposed to Venmo request you now? I can't. So I was like, yeah, no problem. Thank you for the conversation too, And we didn't say anything the rest of the weekend. And I think it's funny because she's a very attractive woman. It's rare for a guy to not text her all weekend. But I'm just in my head like, I can't afford you, so I don't have a choice, So I didn't text her, and then this morning she sent me a text. She was like, hey, what are you up to this week? So I guess I'm gonna see her again. But I think I'm gonna pick the restaurant and just not bring my credit card. Be like, you're paying or we're dining and dashing. And I know I'm faster than you. So to be continued, I guess. But yeah, that's what happened.